So first thing we need to do is team one, I need a team name. Boys.
Oh.
Team two, team name. Silence. Team three.
Tigers.
Tigers?
Yeah.
Okay.
Alabama.
Now you don't get points for answering the question. You get points for making the shot. The dictator is in charge, so the rules might change at any time. One team might get to keep going, one other team might not to. You don't know. Okay? It's not fair at all. None of this is fair. The whole purpose of this is what? Just to get a bunch of answers right, be around a little bit. So we'll start with team number one. Do you have to want to shoot the ball? No, you don't. You just have to do it. And 80% of the time, the person doesn't want to do it, comes up and goes, I don't want to do it. And they make it. About 80% of the time. You will not have the worst shot in the history of this room, because Jordan Carter stood right there and shot it, and it ended up about 2 feet from the wall over there. I don't know how. It didn't bounce off anything. He shot it and it went there. He was not good boy. Worked his tail off. He was not coordinated. All right, first question here. So Grayson, let's ask you here. Common Sense was a pamphlet written by who? Thomas Paine. Way to go. Step on up. Nobody's looking. Oh, okay. You don't have to catch it. Just shoot. Keep your hands together.
Wait, can we ask a team member to answer it?
Remember, you have 5 seconds. Your team can help you. And the second person. All right, Jaylee. What English document was the first time a king gave up power? Magna Carta.
We going 3 on 2. Where's you going?
3. All right.
Terrible.
No, Robert. Who did the English fight in the French and Indian War?
French.
The French is correct. Yes. They did fight the French and the Indians, but the answer bank's just going to say French. Whoa! Who knows?
Cobra.
So Taylor, who did America fight the Revolutionary War against?
Great Britain.
Yes. What's another name for Great Britain? England.
England.
All right, we'll move on to number 2, which is silence. Start with Dory Corey. What was the tax to pay for the French and Indian War debt? What was the tax to pay for it was an act they passed to pay for the French and Indian War? Stamp Act. That's correct. To stamp out the war debt act. Oh, bad one. So that's the thing. This thing is sitting in a bad spot. You got to try to put arch on it, but there's got obstacles. You get it to sit on and
You gotta go through it.
low seat.
Right here? Good deal.
Thank you very much.
There's like half a point for going through the hole.
Yeah.
I do give points for weird stuff sometimes. Where'd that go through?
The back of the wall.
Did it go through here? It did go through there? Half a point.
You gotta look.
It's half a point. What else would you put?
1/2.
Yeah, I got 1/2 point. 'Cause that's almost perfect. Look at that. Mr. Murray couldn't measure better than that. That's awesome.
Well, I suck. Maybe I don't know. Okay.
Parker, what was the government that was established after the revolution? It was 2 weeks. Yes, sir. Articles of Confederation. If y'all want to write stuff down or circle stuff or highlight stuff,
Are we allowed to use notes on the test?
no. I just want to see what you learned. You've been looking over everything 2 or 3 times.
Okay. We'll figure it out.
I don't.
The Lopez, where was the shot heard around the world? Lexington and Concord. Lexington and Concord. All right. Oh, bad throw. Good catch. He does have reflexes. Oh, look. That was, did you see how cool that was? Bam, off the.
I don't think they
off the
deserve it.
leg.
I think that's a little.
Y'all don't think so?
No.
They're gonna give him a whole point now.
Give the TT, sir.
Oh.
That's 3/4. Obviously, a quarter of a point. It hit that. Bam.
Quarter of a point.
I thought it was cool. And I'm the dictator, so, you know, that's all that matters. Yeah, I'm the dictator. You haven't learned that in 18 years, though. The dictator.
I think we're gonna pull what they did on King John and just combine it to a barbecue and pull it.
Moon pie. Something was misrepresented in a wood carving, a picture by Paul Revere. Boston Massacre.
I wouldn't got it hardly any of these.
It was a wood carving, but it was a picture. And then they put it in the newspaper. That's what they used. They did that. They put it in the newspaper. So we got half to 3/4 to nothing. Now it's the Tigers. We'll go Taylor. No, it's 3/4.
Right.
What were imposed on the citizens of Boston included martial law, quartering troops. The Americans called it this. The English didn't.
Due process?
No, that's not right. That's not right. We'll go over, jump over here to Lakeland. What were imposed on the citizens of Boston? They included martial law, quartering troops, intolerable acts. That is correct. Intolerable acts. See, if you answer the wrong question, you're wrong, and I send it to the next round. You are going to get another chance. 3. That's a 3. That is a 3.
No.
That was pretty cool.
If you would have made it in the base thing here, I'd give you 1 point. It just kind of fell back in here. That was close. JoJo. Oh wait, yeah, we had to do because if you answer wrong, we got to do the next one. I'm coming back to it. Dictator cares about y'all. I don't know about the rest of them. I care about y'all. JoJo. What's the British legislative branch? It has the House of Lords and the House of Commons. Parliament. It's massive, Joe. If I'd have stayed in there, I'd give you something. Cornell. The idea of blank government was one of the most important concepts of the British government. Blank government. That's what the Magna Carta did. Limited government. That's the main idea. Limited government. What limits the government in America and in England? Okay, it's the rule of law. The Constitution is what limits the government. Let's see, Frankie. What was the time period? The 1600s and 1700s? The Enlightenment. Human achievement. Human rights. I like that
looks
shirt.
pretty cool to me.
That looks pretty cool. I like that shirt. I think though I'd like it better if it was just the flag and not like artistic. Not bad mouth, it just kind of, you know what I mean, if it was just the flag.
Yeah.
You know, but that's pretty good. I like, I'm not anti that at all.
So.
All right, what do you got? Awesome. Down.
Did you really?
No.
Sure.
All right, please. Who wanted a strong central government? They were led by Alexander Hamilton. Federalists. What's the word for the central government? Federal government. Right? Federal and central is the same.
You make it?
Well, it stayed here. I told Lakin I would have given you a point. No, is it Lakin or no? Joe? I'll give Pacer half of it.
Yeah, but Pacer's more talented than Joe.
But this is just luck. If it was a perfect, you know, there's no way that makes sense. Yeah. I didn't, you know why I didn't do it?
So you couldn't use backboard.
Yeah. Or if you do, you got a chance, you know. All right, I'm gonna come back here to Tigers. Yeah, the Tigers.
Yeah.
You said something after Tigers. It confused me. What did you say after Tigers? No, you said like a town or something, or you said a team.
Oh, yeah, I said Alabama.
Alabama, which is not Tigers,
It's not Tigers.
and
I just thought of, like, you know, Josh Clemson, because he likes Clemson too.
You like
Texas
A&M, he likes
Texas ATM.
Don't go to Texas
Okay.
A&M.
how long is that? Oh, never mind. Oh, Taylor, another chance.
I gotta go again.
You get to go again.
I'll tell me there.
What word means two houses? What word means two houses?
I know this one. Municipally doesn't come to us.
Ramos, what word means two houses?
Bicameral?
Bicameral.
There you go.
Yes, bicameral.
You better make this, Jake. I'm mad.
Precedent's been set, so I'll give you half a, no, I'll give you full point. At least you got half a point. What else would you got?
Usually dictators put their children on everybody else.
They do, I'm the opposite kind of thing. I want my kids to grow up and be something, so I expect them to have to earn it, so there, that's let's see.
Not very good dictator.
Alright. Okay, the idea of blank, it's a type of government, came from the Romans and the Greeks. More the Romans. Idea, it's what kind of government we've got. Representative government is correct, there's a word for it. What's the word that means representative government? Starts with the same? Republic. Republic, that's it. So republic came from the Romans, alright? Republic, Romans.
Come on, brother. Ready? Oh, he better.
You die, clown.
Okay. Let's see, J-Rod. Who wrote the Declaration of Independence? Who's that? Thomas Jefferson. It's hard. All right, come back here to the boys. Grayson.
Because there was.
Who was the boring English judge whose ideas about law became the basis for the U.S. laws?
William White.
William Blackstone.
Hey, you want to come here on our team? You can have tail.
You're doing your trade. Look at that.
Did they write
See?
a small ones with measurement?
Jay Lee? You gotta kind of have it all. What was the first permanent English settlement in America? Jamestown is correct.
Let's see. Jared and the guy trying
For a bonus
You're not going for the
point,
three?
where is Jamestown located?
Virginia.
Hey, Virginia.
You said it? Taylor said it.
What do you think? Wait,
Did I
that
say
is
it right?
more etiquette.
I don't care about it. He said
That's
it.
good.
No, we're Tigers. Come on.
That was almost cool. Almost.
bounces off the microphone.
That's fine. New rules are added.
What was the first establishment of the British government on U.S. soil? Before they got off the boat.
The
Mayflower Compact. First government.
Two. Come on.
Yes,
No. Where the boys?
Oh, boys, okay. Make it just one instead of 3/4. What that?
Yeah, that was the two.
Was it two?
No, it's
He was
He was right there.
No, his.
Two is next to Taylor.
two is
No, he was right there.
I think you should take it.
like halfway in the For traumatology, I think we did all deserve the 6 points.
It's my turn. Wait, is it?
Yeah, it's
So I used to have a stool, and they stole the stool where it's at. After last year, after they did the hallway stuff, my stool was gone.
Let's go on again. Let's go on. I think you should.
Get someone to sit in it.
All right.
Y'all have 5.
Now, that's the word bank questions. There are 8 complete sentence questions. And when I said that, some of y'all went, oh, y'all talk in complete sentences all the time. Just write it. Just write what you'd say. Okay? That's all writing is talking on paper. Writing isn't a big deal. You just write what you're talking about. It takes longer. Okay, whack, cry. Okay? Just explain it to me in a sentence. Oh yeah, who's got it? What was the foundational reason the colonists went to war with Great Britain? Why did they do that? If you like to look, I need to be fired. What's the reason?
Rights as an English citizen were not being recognized.
They wanted their rights recognized. Did they want to go to war? No. But eventually they realized they have to if they want their right. That's the reason. Their rights as English citizens. They want their rights recognized and followed. All right, Dory. Home field advantage in the Revolutionary War. There was 2 parts to it. What was one part of the home field advantage? You got your notes. They say the wrong thing. Alright, Parker, what was one of the home field advantages? They were defending their actual land. That made them fight a little harder. Right?
Yes, sir.
Going for the 3 shirt, aren't you?
Yeah. Alright, Lopes, what was a second home field advantage?
They knew the terrain and stuff.
And they cheated.
Yeah.
They hid, they ambushed. Alright, good job. Come on. No. Alright, looking high. The Federalist and anti-Federalist conflict about what was going to be stronger, states or the federal government. How was that the beginning of the Civil War?
Because it was a split in the parties.
And where was the anti-Federalist from? And they wanted what to be stronger? States. And where was the Federalists mostly from? And they wanted the central government to be stronger. And that's what the Civil War was.
If I didn't get that question, I missed it.
What did the South want? They want slavery. They want the states to be able to say, we want slavery. So the anti-Federalists, most of them were Southerners. The Federalists wanted the federal government to be able to say what was going to happen. That's how the Civil War started. What the Federalists want? Strong federal government. Them to make the decisions. What did the anti-Federalists want? States' rights. Strong state government. All right. The Articles of Confederation were too weak. Right? Why? What was one weakness in the Articles of Confederation?
No taxes.
There was no federal tax. States had taxes, there's no federal tax. Why did they do that? If there's no tax that exists, you can't be unfairly taxed. So actually what this question says, what were 3 weaknesses of the Articles of Confederation and why were they done or not done? So why was there no federal tax?
Because they just got taxed like stupidly for Britain, so they didn't want to.
And if that tax doesn't exist, you can't be unfairly taxed. Ramos, what was another weakness of the Articles of Confederation?
There was no executive branch.
There was no executive, there's no president, there's no king. Why'd they do that?
Because they just got away from the king.
They didn't want anything like a king. Nothing like that.
And that was cool.
Off the board interest here. That's.
Jenkins, what was a third weakness of the Articles of Confederation?
What did you say?
He said tax.
No judicial.
There was no judicial branch at the federal level, no federal court system. Why was there no federal court system? They can't be unfairly thrown in prison or by a non-existent federal court system. Is that on there? Is it on the little review sheet?
Yeah.
Yeah, look at that.
They're so.
You got that review sheet, right? Alright, Magna Carta. What was one main idea that we got from Magna Carta, J-Rod? One big idea that we've talked about for a long time. Hey. Limited government. Yes. Limited government.
Come on, J-Rod.
Relax it.
All right, Lincoln, there was a second thing. second big government idea that goes with this, ties in with this. What is it? With Magna Carta.
The king had to go through parliament.
That was another thing. That was another thing. Did you overhear this? Y'all can catch it.
The representative government, the republic.
That's true. Also rule of law.
Oh.
Also rule of law. Representative
I
government,
thought that went
that's
with,
fine.
like,
I'll
the-
take it. I'll take it.
Okay.
But even bigger than that was the rule of law. So the big idea from the Magna Carta was what?
The,
Limited government. The idea of government being limited, it was limited by the law. It did bring about representative government.
Y'all can't do that. That's just rude.
Why can't we do that?
I can't even see it.
That's all
so.
They got the
How can y'all see this big and yellow?
The Connecticut Compromise. The Connecticut Compromise. The question's actually, how did the Connecticut Compromise save the country? Just tell me what the Connecticut Compromise is. Gracie. Two plans. There was two plans.
oh, the Virginia plan.
Virginia, New Jersey. What did Virginia want? Population representation. What did New Jersey want? Equal states. And what did the Connecticut Compromise do? Let's do both. House and Senate. All right, we have the House, which is population, Senate, that's every state's equal. So that was the Connecticut Compromise. And people decided to stay in the country. Boom. I man the box. Why, Jay Lee? You know what? I'm gonna go to silence. Just cause. All right, Dory. See, I feel sorry for them. They have one point. They've answered a lot of questions. They haven't made a lot of points. That's okay. We're gonna change that. Here we go. Bless you. Delegates that went to the first and second Continental Congress, they went there to meet, talk about stuff. What did they really want? And I put there war with a big question mark. What did those delegates really want? Did they want to go to war? What did they want? They wanted England to recognize their rights and treat them the way they were supposed to be treated. They wrote the letter to the king. He farted on it, threw it back at him.
Where was that going? I don't know.
Go back there. Look, here, it's too much. More arch.
Okay, got it.
All about that art.
Some of y'all have probably seen little Pacer shoot a basketball. I've tried to tell him since he was tiny, put arch on the ball, because if the higher it goes, the bigger the goal gets.
I used to.
I know.
Like,
But then you got older. I got older when it counts, it doesn't.
no, because Colt told me to change it.
No, don't listen to Colt. You never listen to Colt in your life.
So did everybody else.
If the hole's this big and you throw it straight, this is really all the hole is. Does that make sense? If you go up high with it, now you're using the whole goal. It's physics. So if you're flat, you shoot like this, there's not much basket you can use. If you go up, you get to use the whole goal. Now the problem here is, if you do that, you might hit there. But this is kind of awkward. Okay? I'm not saying you have to do that. I'm just saying the more arches you use, the better off you're going to be. All right, Parker. What was the main reason the colonists were able to persevere and win the Revolutionary War? What is the number one reason they were able to win? They had a cause they were fighting for. They were fighting for a cause. The British was fighting because they had to.
You're opposing team.
No, that's all.
I was gonna go in if it was.
Hello?
You're opposing team. And once we all come back together, you know, until then.
I like that.
What's the biggest idea we got from the Magna Carta? Yes, limited, which limits the government. That's it. Limited government, rule of law. There you go. If that had stayed there, I'd give you something.
It's in front of the desk.
Yeah, bro.
Oh, in front of the
All right, moving. Tell me one of the three weaknesses of the Articles of Confederation and why it was done. No executive branch. Why they do that? They don't want anything like a king. Nothing that looks like a king. Boom.
Baller. Yeah, no,
So, that's what's going to be on the chance to do tomorrow. You got the matching, or not matching, whatever you call it. Word bank, 8 sentences. Don't not write something. There's no excuse to not write something. Y'all been around it. Look over it once or twice since you've seen it last. Look over it once or twice since for tomorrow. You'll be fine. Do something good tomorrow. All right. Tomorrow's a chance to what? Do good. Do good. All right. MVP. Mine moves MVP today.
Hey, at least you made it there.
baller.